I see you're working on a new look. My guess is the I Heart Java t-shirt is meant to be ironic.
Doctor, I'm recreating myself as a swashbuckling hacker savant with a dark side, who is actually a nice guy underneath. Once you crack his world, be damned nonchalance.
Have you adopted a programming language to match your new persona?
I haven't decided, but Erlang is the front runner.
Why not Clojure?
Oh please.
Let's talk about another work experience that affected you.
Well, like most software companies, we went through an outsourcing phase. When our new CTO came on board, he immediately handed our most important development initiative over to a totally unproven team, offshore, just because his buddy got him a really good price. The prospect of nearly doubling the size of his organization at such a cut rate was simply more than he could resist.
I see many patients who lost jobs to outsourcing.
My team oversaw the work, and prior to our kickoff meeting, we received a lecture on how the offshore team was very sensitive to criticism and that we had to make sure that no one lost face.
Maintaining face is very important in many cultures.
In software culture, maintaining face is not hard. It's actually very simple. The rule of thumb is, don't formally submit code that looks like it was written by two cats copulating on top of a keyboard. I mean, holy Christ, we would review their code when we got into the office and, once we stopped laughing and pissing ourselves, and regained some composure, we sat around and tried to figure out how we could tell these imbeciles that their code sucked balls, without hurting their precious feelings.
Providing constructive feedback is always challenging.
For fuck's sake. The only thing constructive that we could have done was to use their source files as random keys for SSL certs. We ended up rewriting their code and committing it back onto their account. They'd pick up the next day, totally oblivious to the fact that the code had changed, was legible, and actually worked. This happened again and again until the project was completed.
What happened?
The CTO was so happy with the work that he transferred all development offshore. And then he fired my team.
But you were the reason the project was successful.
I was honored to be a part of one of the universe's great pound-you-in-the-ass ironies. In the end, they never shipped another line of code and the company went out of business. When they found out who wrote the original code, they blamed my team for everything. The CTO was celebrated as a genius tactician of startup efficiency and appointed by the VC to another hapless company. You can read about it in the TechCrunch Deadpool.
That CTO is a total douchebag.
The man was. I'm not actually sure there's a word to describe this man. It's a combination of extreme arrogance and utter stupidity. Douchebaggery is close, but it's not what I'm looking for.
What you're describing on one hand is classic narcissism. The first sign is an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Did you observe this?
On a daily basis.
What about a preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, or brilliance?
All the fucking time.
Requires excessive admiration.
Constantly.
Has a sense of entitlement.
Overwhelmingly.
Shows arrogant, haughty, patronizing, or contemptuous behaviors or attitudes.
My God. There's a name for this?
It's called Narcissistic Personality Disorder.
Holy shit. But there's still an element that I'm struggling to describe. It's almost as if he's mentally retarded.
Mental retardation among senior management in most companies is quite rare.
I'm no expert, but this man exhibited classic retard behavior in every meeting I saw him in. If after one of his self-absorbed oratories, he were to return to his chair and drool coffee onto his shirt while making fart noises with his mouth, no one would give it a second thought. Doctor, I believe he has full-blown Narcissistic Mental Retardation Disorder.
That's not a real condition.
I can't thank you enough for helping me work through this. It's so liberating to know that my tortured existence under the leadership of this shit for brains was no more an injustice than catching a cold from a random sneeze. Had I only known at the time. Narcissistic Mental Retardation Disorder. It makes perfect sense. He has Narcissistic Mental Retardation Disorder.
I see our time is up. This has been productive.